This is Barbara Loraine, and this video is how to look great on film. Whether it's for a video or on television or the big screen, these tips will help. This is part one of a series of how to look great on film. I learned many of the tips that I'm sharing with you today from Bob Circosta when I was in training to be on Home Shopping Network. I'll share tips in three areas: what to wear, makeup, and then kind of some general tips for being on film. First is what to wear. Okay, get ready. Get ready for this. You should not wear anything shiny. Great in person. In fact, it's different to speak on film than what it is to speak when you're in front of people. Whether it's one-on-one or for a group of thousands, it's different. Shiny fabrics reflect too much of the studio lights. Not good. We want to remove distractions. No. Big prints. Again, we want to remove distractions. We want people to focus on your message, not on that busy print that you're wearing. For whatever reason, plaids like I'm wearing and stripes drive the camera bonkers. So they gotta go. You don't want to do that either. And then to wear white, look at how it washes me out. Now, all of these tips are situational. Depends on your skin tone, depends on things. So of these tips, you have to see what's going to work best for you. But a white shirt does not work. So we get rid of that. Now, what does work is a solid color. Could be red, could be green, could be blue, could be black. So that answers the question that a lot of people ask me. Is black okay? Yes, it is. Then also another good idea, because have you ever heard of Murphy's Law? And just think of it. If you're going to be on television or filmed for on the big screen, that's exactly the kind of time that Murphy's Law likes to strike, right? So bring an extra outfit so that you're prepared for the worst case scenario. So I've shared with you tips about what to wear. Now let's talk about makeup. And remember, this is part one. You'll get more tips in the next video, part two, on how to look great on film. So the next one is about makeup. Begin with eye drops. You don't want your eyes to be red. You want to be bright-eyed and bushy-tailed, and the eye drops can at least help you in the department of being bright-eyed. You'll want to wear foundation on your face, under your eyes, your neck, your chest, your hands. Pretty much, if you're going to have skin showing, you should have foundation on that area. And of course, then powder, anywhere that your skin might end up being shiny. Yes, your chest too. You want to get rid of the distraction of shininess, especially in the studio lights. Then we come to your eyebrows. If you have any bushiness or whatever, trim those eyebrows. If they're going to be showing, check. Are there any hairs that people might get distracted by in your ear, or, sorry, but in your nose too? And while we're on the subject of eyebrows, once you've trimmed, you'll want to fill in. And this might be a good time for you to actually go to a professional and have them shape your eyebrows. Show you how to do it yourself, because what they say is true. The brows are the frame for the face. Not mine, I've got bangs, but probably for you. Next, we come to your teeth. Of course you want white teeth when you're going to be in high def, whether it's on television or especially on the big screen. The whitening strips, and there are many products to whiten your teeth. Many of them take a couple of weeks to work. If you need white teeth today, consider a tooth enamel paint. Yes, paint. Now, you may not be able to get it at your local drugstore or beauty store. Just have it on hand for when you need it, because if you have it and you don't need it, that's fine. But if you need it and you don't have it, well, not so good. Next, then, we'll talk about women's lip color. It's best to wear a clear red, not one with blue undertones. Now, I think I already said these ideas are all situational. Like with the white shirt, depends on your skin tone, depends. And it also is a good idea to check these different makeup applications in the kind of lighting that you'll be using when you're being filmed. So red lipstick, and as we say in part 2, but I'll mention it here, men should certainly wear lip balm, and for women, if your lips are not left creamy, that's the test to see. Are your lips nice and smooth with your lipstick? Some lipsticks that stay on longer are pretty dry, so use a lip balm, not a lip gloss, because again, that reflects the studio lights. What's great in person can be horrible for the camera. Also, a nice tip that I love to use is a little light or even white, like I have here, in the corner of your eyes and under your brows. Opens your eyes up, and that's a good thing. You want to emphasize your eyelashes also. You can use mascara, curl your lashes, mascara. You might even want to consider using artificial eyelashes. I mentioned before that all of this stuff is situational, and there's a perfect example. All of those eye products, mascara, fake eyelashes, I can't even think of the idea of having glue on my eyes. So I wear quite a bit of eyeliner. I think it works for me. What do you think? Again, what works in person is different than what works on film. So we've talked about what to wear and a little bit about makeup. Oh, and those tips about the white in the corners and the lipstick, those were for women. Those were for women. Now, a couple of important tips. First, people ask me all the time, well, Barbara, when you're interviewing me, where should I look? And this goes specifically for an interviewing session. I'll have the camera will be very close to me. I'll be asking questions, and you will look at me, not at the camera lens. Think of what that's going to do for you. That's the natural way that we usually do things, isn't it? I ask a question, you respond with an answer, like a conversation. The more comfortable you are when you're being filmed, the better you're going to come across. So I ask a question, you answer to me. There's another thing for you to know about that. When I am interviewing someone, we're gonna edit out the questions that I ask. So you should then incorporate the question into the answer that you give. For example, when I say, oh, where are you from? You would then answer, instead of saying, oh, I'm from San Diego, or I'm from Detroit, or whatever, instead you would say, I am from. You incorporate it. Easy, easy. However, funny thing, when the lights come on and the cameras come on, it's easy to forget these things. Don't worry about it though, because if you don't incorporate your answer, the question into your answer, guess what we're going to do? We're going to ask you again so that you can get it right. It's not about making you wrong. It's about getting it right for the film. Makes sense.
Sometimes you do have to get it just right, though.
Okay, so you'll look at me. And another tip from Bob Circosta from HSN, he says, don't just tell people, show them. In fact, one of the great tips for how to get on television, on a morning show or whatever, on a news show, is to let them know that you're going to bring props and you're going to do a demonstration, because that engages the audience more. It's more interesting visually. It helps people remember more. And here's what is a really great thing about it. It helps you remember what are you going to be talking about next. Use this video that I did as an example. Notice that I had layers and layers, scarves and shirts and other stuff, jackets on. I didn't have to remember. I knew, oh, next is we're not going to use patterns. Next is we aren't going to use plaids. Easy for me to remember. When it came to the makeup, I had to remember all of those different products and in order, but I didn't have to remember because they were sitting there and those props told me, oh, Barbara, I'm next, because you set them up. You set them up in a row in the order that you're going to use them, and boom, easy peasy. I've shared ideas with you in this video about how to look great on film, about what to wear, about makeup, and then another few tips about the camera work and being interviewed. So that when you get that phone call and they're saying, wow, I heard you're awesome and we want you on our television show or on the big screen, we want you, that you know, number one, there are different guidelines for being on film. It's different than being in person. And I've shared many of them with you here. Check out my next video, part 2. And if you're on YouTube, please subscribe to my channel where you'll get more tips about being on film and being in this world. Also, you might want to check out my website where I am interviewing people for my upcoming movie, The Elephant in Your Room. So guess what the website is? theelephantinyourroom.info. Until next time, this is Barbara Loraine wishing you to be great on film.